Thank you for joining us today on Recapping with Recapped. I'm joined by a very special guest, Tom Cheriyan. Did I say it right?
You did.
Okay, beautiful. Apparently, I've been mispronouncing it for the last 4 years, and I feel like a total a-hole. But we're going to talk about all of the things that worked, all the things that didn't work in 2023, what we're excited about for 2024, because it's been a really tough year for everybody, regardless if you're winning or losing or anything. It's just been a tough year. And so, really excited. Tom, thank you so much for joining us. Why don't you give a quick introduction? Who are you? What do you do? Why is it exciting? Let the people know.
Yeah, sure. So I'm the director of revenue enablement. I don't know why I didn't think about that. I'm the director of revenue enablement here at Rattle. I'm also an adjunct professor at the City College of New York. And then with whatever free time I have left, I am a dad of two awesome girls. They're 6 and 8. So really proud and happy of them to be with them and be their dad. Rattle, in a nutshell, the one or two liner pitch is we help companies be able to actually leverage their data throughout their sales process to make it actionable. And so the way we do that is it's just a huge paradigm shift. We're actually pushing data from Salesforce into Slack and really making it stupid easy for reps, for frontline managers and CROs and everyone else in between to really take action on their data. So the tagline that I've been enabling our reps is like, we're the GPS for your go-to-market motion. Just like you wouldn't memorize directions anymore from point A to point B. I don't know about you, but I grew up with
MapQuest.
yeah, with MapQuest, exactly. And very painful, traumatic experience, like sitting in the driver, like passenger side with my dad and like navigating by MapQuest, absolutely painful. Versus like now, like what does everybody expect? Like I just want to know when to go left, right, or straight.
Yeah.
Same with reps. I just want to know when my deal's stuck in stage, so I need to do something. I want to know that, hey, if I add a competitor to my opportunity, boom, I'm immediately getting Slack the battle card versus trying to find it wherever it's buried. Or guess what most reps are doing? They're not finding it at all. I want to get pinged when my close dates are in the past or next updates in the past. So that's Rattle in a nutshell. So very disruptive. It's greenfield opportunity for us, but at the same time, our number one challenge is just educating our prospects on what we do and the impact we can have. So that's the challenge. And in my role in enablement, as you know, I'm here to make sure that everyone has the right knowledge, the right pitch, the right call deck, the right tools and technology and everything else in between so that everyone's set up for success.
I love that analogy. I think, and especially if Elon Musk or anyone else has their way, it's not only what the directions are, it's going to be, will the car drive itself? Right? And so I imagine you guys are thinking of ways to even automate that even further as well, if we take that a step further. What is your ICP? What's your go-to-market? We were talking a little bit about what you guys do to get revenue beforehand, but do you mind giving a quick recap of that?
Yeah, our ICP is basically B2B businesses, right? Especially those that are using either Slack or Teams in terms of their communication platform, and then Salesforce to manage all of their Salesforce data or all of their sales data. Typically, the personas that we're going after are folks in revenue operations, enablement, CROs. And again, the problem or the pain that we're trying to solve for is, look, I did over 10 years being a seller, and every sales leader told me, like, Tom, you need to have like 3x or 4x your pipeline as it relates to your quota. So using simple
Yeah.
numbers, if your quota is like $1 million, well, then you need at least like 3 million in pipe in order to hit your target for the year or for the quarter. But some of those deals, yes, they slip or you lose them because of, the prospect doesn't have budget, the prospect decides to go with the competitive solution, whatever. Rattle is coming in to say, like, look, you're actually losing those deals because your rep is not working the deal as best as they could, because how could they? They have like 30, 40, 50, 60 open ops at any given time.
Yeah.
So our ICP is really targeted towards those folks where the reps have, maybe 2 month sales cycles to 9 to 12 month sales cycles, 10K deal sizes to 6 to 7 figure deal sizes. And especially 2023, if it's an opportunity in Salesforce, can you really afford to lose it?
Yeah.
Win rates are down for everybody. So if you can't afford to lose it, like, what are you doing differently in 2023? And it's going to trend towards 2024 too. Like, I know the Dow Jones hit its all-time high. It seems like the economy is doing well, but I mean, CFOs are still beating up their respective buyers on every single purchase. So how are you treating every opportunity as if it's the only one you're working on?
Yeah. I mean, I absolutely agree. I mean, one thing we've been saying over and over is that I think in 2023 and 2024, your pipeline is dead by default. And you have
Yeah.
to, versus anything else beforehand, right? Where, oh, deals are going to come in, we're going to close 20%. You need to assume that you're going to close nothing. And so your number one focus should be, how do we make sure that we win every winnable deal? How do we actually execute with consistency so that we provide a frictionless experience and we win these deals?
Yeah. And I love Recap because your mission is very similar to our mission. How can reps just better execute on their deals, as well as deliver a better buyer experience? We're solving it from the seller perspective. I think you're solving it from both the seller and buyer perspective with a mutual action plan and keeping everyone aligned. We're just thinking about, okay, like how can we send the right signals to the right reps at the right time? Again, when to go left, right, or straight so that they're not dropping the ball and just like letting these ops just rot away in pipeline, right?
In a 9-month sales cycle, how many deals went sideways in month 2 or 3 that you didn't know about as a rep or a leader? Right? I'm willing to bet a good portion of them. And
Yeah.
so staying on top of them when you're working 40, 50, 60 opportunities, it's a nightmare. It's really, really difficult. I mean, we've all been in those shoes.
Yeah. And I think my perspective on sales management has changed, or revenue management has changed since working here. And now I'm saying the quiet things out loud. Like, how as a leader, are you really looking at dashboards and reports all day long? Like, are you really doing that? Are your frontline managers really doing that? How many fields do you have on the opportunity page in Salesforce? 100, 200, 500?
Yeah.
By the way, I'm curious, how many of your reps have a data science degree? So how are you actually expecting them to analyze all of their leads, opportunities, and accounts, and you're expecting them to make the right decisions at the right time and not drop the ball on anything? Are you kidding me? So this is like enablement or RevOps 2.0. How can we make it even more stupid easy for the reps, for the frontline managers, for the CROs to de-risk deals in real time?
Yeah.
And so, look, I say it out loud. It sounds like, holy crap, this is a no-brainer. But again, this is just part of the challenge of being a startup, right? Like, how do you
Yeah.
educate the masses when they don't even know that they have this problem? But it's been a fun ride at Rattle so far.
And congrats on the success, right? I mean, I feel like you guys are everywhere nowadays, but so much of what you said echoes our challenges too, right? Like when we get in front of customers, number one thing I always hear is like, holy shit, this is so much bigger than I thought. And I thought it was this one little problem, but actually it spans this entire thing. And so as for us too, right? I mean, we're a small startup. We don't have millions of marketing budget. So educating people that this is a problem and getting in front of them, that's the biggest challenge. But once you do that, it starts working itself out and you start having these conversations. So I guess jumping in, you guys had, sounds like tremendous growth for 2023. What worked really well for you? And keep it as tactical as you possibly can.
Yeah, well, what worked really well was really flawless execution. When I think about like what our best reps were doing, they were not just dependent on marketing to bring them leads, but they were creating their own opportunities. It was very clear to them if they wanted to be successful, if they wanted to hit or crush quota, they have to take ownership over their own success. So,
Absolutely.
strategic prospecting, account-based prospecting. I'm not going to just, I call it lazy prospecting. I'm not going to just click on the connect on LinkedIn and just like randomly connect with my personas and hope that they connect with me, or just copy and paste a LinkedIn message over and over again and expect it to work. No, I'm going to research my accounts. I'm going to research, what their pain is. I'm going to create thoughtful messaging that makes it stupid easy for them to reply, be curious, take a meeting with us, and then move the deal along. So again, our best reps were doing that. And I think the other thing too is a great leader told me this at my last company, and I've been preaching it here, like don't suffer in silence. Like
I
just
love that.
ask for help when you need help. And so I made it very clear, and this is what the reps are doing. They'll loop me in on an opportunity or with the prospect if they need help. They'll tag our CRO, our CEO, right?
Yeah.
So we have a culture within Rattle, which I think has been really contributing to our success, where everyone's helpful. No one's doesn't look bad when you're asking for help. And so everybody's willing to just chip in, extend themselves, provide the resources or expertise that they can, so that again, we're de-risking these deals and bringing it home. But yeah, for 2023, we've been taking ownership of our success versus just expecting bluebirds to come in and close.
I love that. I mean, I think especially with this year, we saw the best reps have to be building their own pipe. You can't do anything passively anymore, right? You have to be on the offensive. You have to be aggressive. You have to go out and, take control of your destiny ultimately. Those are fantastic lessons on what worked. What didn't? What were the flops? What were the lessons that you guys had this year and that maybe you're going to do differently?
Yeah, I would say, I think as a startup, especially when I joined, we were still thinking about what is the right messaging, right? Like what's going to really resonate with the RevOps persona, the CRO persona that we talk to. So believe it or not, we didn't have the right message the first time around. And so we had to reiterate on our messaging, on our situation statement, on our pain statement multiple times until we got it right. And once we got it right, we codified it, we preached it to the choir, and we ran with it, and it's been working so far. But we all had this open mindset that we just can't settle with even our own status quo when it came to messaging. Like we have to refine it. And based on whatever feedback we're getting from the market, let's experiment. And I think what I loved about the reps was that they were also willing to pivot and keep experimenting with the message until we all agreed, like, okay, we have something here that's really working. And once we did, we just ran with it, which is great.
Love that. Can you expand on that? I mean, where were you guys off the mark? What wasn't working? What tweaks did you make to actually make it work?
As part of our message, we didn't have a good analogy to help our prospects visualize, like, what does the ideal state look like? And so, when I started the conversation with you using the GPS analogy, like that was key to our success. Because again, when you're on a discovery call with a prospect, you're not going to just load up a deck, and you shouldn't, right? Or if you're at a conference, at a booth, do you really want to whip up like 10, 20 Google slides and just present them
Hold on, let me
there?
grab my computer real quick.
Yeah, no, you should be able to articulate the problem really well. And again, talk about that ideal state. But it took us time to figure out how to do that from a visual perspective, but also how do you articulate the pain? And so the other thing too is what are the quiet things that we're not saying out loud, but we should be,
Yeah.
right? And so when you hear me say like reps have like 40, 50, 60 open ops, are we really expecting reps to be on top of each and every op? Do your reps have a data science degree? Can they really analyze an opportunity? Are they really looking at all of your dashboards and reports and analytics and know exactly when to do what they're supposed to do across all their open leads, accounts, and ops? So when we say the quiet thing out loud, that's where we're creating, I call it the oh shit moment, and making our prospect feel like, holy crap, we need to be doing something about this yesterday.
Yeah.
And so that's when the sale's made, like right when we're educating them and they realize like, holy crap, we need to be doing something about this.
I love that. I do genuinely believe that. I think the sale is won or lost in discovery in most cases, or at least the internal priority of that conversation is lost. What are you guys going to do differently in 2024?
Can we pause for a second? Do
Yeah.
you hear the vacuum cleaner?
No.
No? Okay. All right.
No.
Okay, then let's do it again.
Okay. I love that. What are you going to do differently in 2024?
What are we going to do differently in 2024? I'll tell you right now, we're still reiterating on our pitch. So I'm working with senior leadership to see where can we reiterate just our pitch, how we open up the problem statement even better and make it more compelling. We're going to be focusing a lot more on our marketing machine in 2024. So what kind of content is actually going to really resonate with the RevOps and CRO persona? I don't think they want more case studies. I don't think they want more white papers. I think you can already see with the Rattle brand, we're just trying to make it fun and engaging and interesting and just not the typical content you're going to see from every other single vendor that's pushing content through their corporate handles on social media. And ultimately, where can we focus in 2024 so that we're driving even more success? So for me, in enablement, I'm just thinking about like, how can I help reps from an enablement perspective be more efficient and be more productive when it comes to how they do outbound? As an example, I'm working with my SDR leader to see like, okay, where can we optimize just in our sales lock cadences, in our steps, in the content in those cadences. So again, we're making it stupid easy for our reps to get these meetings on the calendar and continue having the success that they have.
If you could only run one play in 2024 to drive revenue, what would that be?
Just keep cold calling.
But it's dead. Cold calling's dead.
I hear that, but
I've heard it for the last 12 years, personally. And I mean, I think it's all bullshit, but
I think so too.
yeah.
And you know what? I still make it a point, even though I'm seeing like this random number being called on my cell phone, I'm still gonna pick up the phone.
It's good karma.
It's not just about the good karma, even though I do believe in sales karma, but like I am open to learning about solutions from vendors that I haven't heard of. I may not be taking a call from like a Fortune 500 technology company anytime soon,
Yeah.
but you know, if it's a vendor that has a compelling value proposition, like I have to understand what it is, right? Like if it can help my company be more efficient or productive, like why wouldn't I explore it? And I'll say this, like I took a call just a few days ago, and that person it wasn't just a cold call. I got several emails. She reached out to me on LinkedIn. Then I got the cold call. And then when she introduced herself, it's like, yes, I did read your emails. I did see your LinkedIn message. So she just made it easier for me to take the meeting with her.
I love that.
So it's just flawless execution, right? Versus
Yeah.
again, like I see a rep that's just trying to connect with me randomly on LinkedIn. They're just making it super easy for me to say no. But then I also click on like, I don't know this person because
Yeah.
I don't think they should be just randomly doing that with other people as well.
Well, and to your point, I think no one wants to feel one out of 1,000, right? If you're just the next person in the cadence or the next step with no thought behind it, it's not going to work. Now, if there's thoughtful, if there's personalization, if there's that human element to it, I think absolutely. Last question. How can other people help you and how can you help others?
How can other people help me and how can I help others? I don't know how other people can help me, but I'm more than open to help. I don't know what I don't know, so I'm always open to learning and understanding like what can I be doing differently or better. I always make it a point to ask my team for feedback, like, hey, what could I be doing differently or better, or what should I stop doing? And so I'm always open to that kind of feedback. And so for me, feedback is critical as well as just again, just learning from others. How can I help others? I don't know. I'm here to help. Like it's literally my job title, but also it's just like who I am as a person. So again, I always tell people don't suffer in silence, ask for help. I always make my calendar open to anyone internally within Rattle, but also just to the community. So there's always folks, especially from the enablement community, who need help or guidance or just need someone to talk to. And I'm more than happy to share my calendar link. And yeah, let's just grab 30 minutes next week and talk.
As someone that's taken up
Yeah,
hours
you're
and hours
guilty
of
of
your
it.
time.
You're beyond guilty of it. Yes.
I am so thankful for all the feedback, all the support you've given us over the years. I mean, just look, being able to bounce ideas off of you. It's been, I can't say thank you enough. So I really appreciate it. Uh, Thank you for taking the time for this. Go check out Rattle. Reach out to Tom. Tom is incredible. Genuinely one of my favorite people. And
I got recapped. I love recapped.
yeah, Recapped is good too. Recapped. I'm a little biased. I only have every article of clothing is a Recapped hoodie or T-shirt of mine. So
Really? That's actually quite impressive.
I literally 90% of what I wear nowadays, like I have to go into my closet to actually find something that's not Recapped branded. Case in point, you know,
I love that.
yeah,
Okay, you need to hook me up with the recap today then.
done.
All right.
Next time I see you. Awesome. Well, Tom, thank you so much. Everybody else, thanks for watching, and we'll talk soon.
Awesome. Thanks.